following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Helps if I hit the right button. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ron Juckett. Welcome to the program. For the 6th day of January 2022, we have the Friday afternoon affair from Wrigley Field for the Montreal Expos and the Chicago Cubs. Both teams are 2-0 as they start a weekend series. Dennis Eckersley going for Chicago, Bryn Smith for Montreal. Cubs, of course, won their first division title, or first playoff appearance since 1945 last year, and we won't talk about what happened in that bad weekend in San Diego. So the Cubs are looking to build on what they had in '84. Here's a hint for you. They're not going to. The Expos were always a team that was good, but they were in a division that had some great teams. The '84 Cubs, the '85 Cardinals, the '86 Mets, the '87 Cardinals, the '88 Mets. Yeah, you kind of know where this is going. So the Expos are kind of, the Avis of the National League East. They always tried harder, but they couldn't quite break through. But still, on a cold day at Wrigley, this should be a fun one. It's Les Expos versus Harry's Cubs. Next. I didn't hit the button. Ain't that nice? Try that one, Ron, as Retro Sports Network presents Major League Replay 1985. Today, this 12th day of April, Friday, April 12th, it's the Montreal Expos visiting the Chicago Cubs from Wrigley Field in Chicago. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDevice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. Ignore the replay boards. I wasn't going to make up a new field for Wrigley. So it'll be Dennis Eckersley on the hill for Chicago. He is making his first start of the '85 season. 11-7 in real life with a 3.08 ERA. In 169 and a third innings. He had 145 hits, made 25 starts, finished 6 of them. 61 runs, 58 of those earned, 15 homers. He always had control. He just walked 19 while striking out 117. And of course, with the A's as the first really solid one-inning closer, he not only won the Cy Young Award in '92, he was the American League MVP. Fastball pitcher at this stage of his career at 85 and a fly ball pitcher, which kind of would not work at Wrigley Field. 31 years old, Ezeki would actually pitch another 10 years, 11 years? I think he pitched into the '96 playoffs. He also pitched one more time for the Red Sox. This will be the lineup that he will face. Timmy Raines leads off in left. Herb Winningham is in center field. He'll bat second. Andre Dawson, now the star of the team in right field, will bat third. Dan Dreesen cleans up at first. Hubie Brooks, who came over in the Gary Carter trade, will play short and bat fifth. One of the Laws, not L.A., will bat sixth and play second. Tim Wallach, an underrated third baseman, will bat seventh. Mike Fitzgerald has to fill in those shoes for Gary Carter. Behind the plate will bat eighth. And Bryn Smith on the mound will go ninth. He should throw about 115 pitches. Defensively for the Cubs, the Sarge, Gary Matthews, a 3 and left. Don't know what the arm is. Bob Dernier is a 7 and a 3 in center. And Keith Moreland is a 2 and an 8 in right. That is not a good defensive outfield. Dernier has the best range, but Ramen Noodle says, I like your arm. The infield, the Penguin, Ron Singh is a 4 at third. Sean Dunston is a 6 at short. Ryan Sandberg, holy cow, is only a 5 at second. Leon Durham, a 6 at first. Jody Davis behind the plate is a 6 and a 7, and Eck is a 7 on the mound with a fielding percentage of .923. And with Rain's ability to bunt, Say and Durham will play on the grass. Rain's 3 for 9 on the year with a double and 2 strikeouts. And the pitch to Timmy. Got him! A 1-2 curve for strike 3. So 1 out for Whittingham, 1 for 6 on the young year. I'm sure the crowds at Wrigley on this 51-degree day are big. And of course there's no lights in 1985. Wind blowing in from left center at 5. Eck winds and deals. There's a chopper down to Say. Ronnie throws it to first, and Whittingham is out. Don't make me hold those notes so long. Brings up future Cub Andre Dawson. 1 for 8 on the year. That's 125 with 2 runs scored. Hitting .255 in real life with 23 homers and 91 RBI. Pitch from Eck. Got him! And the Hawk looks at a curveball on a 1-2 count for strike 3. So the Expos go down in order. Half an inning in the books here at Wrigley. Montreal nothing. Here come the Cubs. And it'll be Bryn Smith on the mound for Montreal. Again, they really are the Avis of baseball teams. 18-5 Bryn went in real life with a .291 ERA. He made 32 starts and finished 4. He is 30 years old. He threw 222 in the third innings. 193 hits. 85 runs. 72 of those were earned. 12 homers. 41 walks and 127 strikeouts. Allez, Expo! How are you, Zalapsky Smurf? And here's who the Cubs will send up. Bob Dernier will lead off and play center field. Ryan Sandberg will bat second and play second. Gary Matthews in left will hit third. Leon Durham, the lone lefty in the lineup for Chicago, cleans up. Keith Moreland in right will bat fifth. Ron Say will bat sixth at third. Jody Davis, a good catcher in his time, behind the plate will bat seventh. Sean Dunston at short will go eighth, and the Eck, who threw. Proper English is always good. Ron, 13 pitches in the top of the first inning, will bat ninth. Tim Raines is a 5 and a 9 and left. Herm Whittingham, I believe he goes to Cincinnati. I don't think he came from Cincinnati at this point, is a 6 in center. Andre Dawson a 7 and a 7 in right. Tim Wallach a 9 at third. Hubie Brooks a 4 at short. Law, I want to say Vance, someone will correct me if I'm wrong, is a 5 at second. Dan Dreesen is 6 at first. Again, we told you that Mike Fitzgerald gets the unenviable position of replacing Gary Carter. He's a 6 and a 5 behind the plate. And Bryn Smith is a 7 on the mound with a .911 fielding percentage. So that takes care of all that. Both these teams, by the way, have started 2-0. Dernier, 5 for 10 on the young year with an RBI. All singles. Herm came in the Carter trade from the Mets as well. Okay. So Herm would go to Cincinnati after his time in Montreal. Dernier swings a ground ball to Hubie. Brooks will throw it in slow motion for the out, 1 away. Here's Sandberg. Rhino, 2 for 9 to start the year with an RBI and 3 runs. 305 on the real year, 26 homers and 83 RBI. Smith winds and deals, and Sandberg punches that one into the outfield for a single. Rhino takes a long look as Law got the late jump. So here's Gary Matthews. Sarge 2 for 4 to start the year with 3 walks. John Goodell says I just looked up Bryn Smith on Wiki and said Sports Illustrated did an article on how he didn't like Montreal. One complaint, he had to drive to Plattsburgh, New York, just across the lake from here to get Fritos. Really? Mr. Zalapsky, can you buy Fritos in Ontario? Wow. See, I would have thought snack food like that would have been universal, at least in North America. We are about 90 minutes south of Montreal. Throw to first, Sandberg back. And he really can't hit and run, so we're going to try and steal Rhino. The pitch. Throw down to second. Rhino has it for his first of the year. Yeah, for years. Okay. I wouldn't have thought that Fritos would have been in short supply anywhere in North America. The stuff we learn on this stream. Hey, you wouldn't find out about that on a Fortnite stream now, would you? So Sandberg gets his first steal of the year. He's on second, and an 0-1 count to Matthews. Pitch to Gary is a base hit left side. Raines will pick it up. Sandberg will not run on the Rock's 9 arm. So Rhino will hold at third. Runners on the corners. It's not like someone couldn't have chipped up a bunch for him. Wikipedia, take it for what it's worth, and the language and the value of the dollar issues are real. I wonder if they were just called something different up in Montreal. Leon Durham, as I choke on my own spin, it's 4 for 10 on the year. That's 400. A double and 2 RBI. Pitch from Bryn is in the shallow left center. Winningham rides the Schwinn, makes the catch. Sandberg to tag, and Winningham's arm is average. They're going to send him. Here comes Sandberg, and the throw goes into the infield, 1-0 Chicago. Although for years, American Doritos were different from Canadian ones. I wonder why. They used to make a taco-flavored Dorito, and I don't remember that. All the Doritos I remember, not the Cool Ranch, those are gross, in my opinion, are the nacho cheese ones. And I had no idea that they made a taco one. I don't think I've ever had them. Here's Keith Moreland. As we talk about lunchtime snacks, Keith is off to a flying start. 4 for 8, a homer, and 4 RBI, and that's hitting 500. Would hit 307 for the Cubbies in real life. So Matthews on first, 2 out, 1-0 Chicago, bottom of the first. Pitch to Moreland is a liner into right center. That's extra bases. Matthews goes to third easily. Moreland might round second. He will not. He'll hold. Matthews will score, and it's 2-0 Chicago. You can't beat fun at the old ballpark. Nope, you can't. How you doing, Elvis? Maybe being called Les Fritos confused Bryn. Oh. Zalapsky Smurf hitting some slappers at Bryn Smith. Here's Ronnie Say. Ron 3 for 10, 300. My goodness, he has 2 homers and 7 RBI in the first 2 games. So a big inning for the Cubs. Pitch to Say. Ron draws the walk. So that brings up Jody Davis, 2 for 10 on the year, 200 and 2 strikeouts. Nice action shot for Jody on whatever baseball card they got. Runners on first and second. Bryn Smith stocking up on Fritos while he's in Chicago. These 2 teams will meet next weekend in Montreal. Davis swings. Ground ball to short. Brooks throws it to first to Dreesen, and that will retire the side. Big inning for the Cubs. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. After 1, 2-0 North Siders. So Dreesen, Brooks, and Law to face Eckersley here in the second. Dan, 3 for 7 on the year, a double, a homer, and drove in 2. He has scored 3 times. The Expos beat Cincinnati both games 5-4 in the opener Monday, and then Wednesday 4-2. And so they've played 2 games and had 2 days off. This is a 3-game set against the Cubs. They'll play a midweek set in St. Louis, and they'll play their home opener next Friday against the Cubs. It's the Cubs Phillies in St. Louis on that opening homestand, and I'm telling you, plenty of good seats available. Eckersley starts the second with a fly ball to right. Moreland by the bullpens, and somebody from Racine, Wisconsin made that catch. 0-2 the count. Dreesen in the center. Dernier should get it. He does. 1 out for Hubie Brooks. Hubie, 2 for 7 on the young year. No homers and 2 RBI. Those were the longest. I read that too fast, DJ John. How you feeling? Those were the longest ads ever. I'll tell you what I thought he wrote. Chunky soup and prostitution. PlayStation. Same difference. How you doing? Hope you're feeling better. 1 out. Eckersley deals. In the left center, Dernier moves over. 2 out. For Vance Law. Vance 2 for 7. Those hits were home runs. He's driven in 4, the 2 homers, and he's hitting .286. From the wind. Popped him up. Davis to the screen and makes the catch to retire the side. So 6 up, 6 down for the Expo. We go to the bottom of the second inning, 2-0. Yeah, I see. Yeah. You look over on the left, on my main monitor here is the game, and I had to look over to see what's in the chat, and the chat's in the first column because I need glasses. I wear glasses out in public, but the glare is too much. I don't need them to read the computer screen. Life's complicated. It'll be Dunston, Eckersley, and Dernier for the Cubs here in the second. Sean, 2 for 8. That's .250 to start the year. He's got a double. Bryn Smith starts the inning with another base hit. That's into right field. Dawson will pick it up. Dunston takes a long look and goes back. So here's Eck. 125 and a solo homer. It won't be this at bat because we're going to bunt. Wallach and Dreesen play in. Throw to first, and Dunston's back. Ooh, now. Dunston has an 84% chance to steal. Guess what we're going to do? Runner goes. Fitzgerald's throw down the Law, and Dunston's out. Dunston's out. The Cubs tried to get a bit greedy, so Fitzgerald throws him out. Remember, 84% is not 100. 1 out, next got to swing. And he does. Popped up, shallow left center. Winningham rides the horsey. 2 out. Brings up Dernier, who's 0 for 1. Opening 9 for Smith. 25 pitches, that's not bad. But in an inning and 2/3, 4 hits and both the runs are earned. There's a ground ball base hit left side. So for the Cubs, is Dernier going to go? No. That's the 5th hit. Brings up Rhino. Had 54 steals in the real year. Got his first in the first. Singled and scored one of the 2 Cubs runs in the first. Throw to first. Dernier is back. Rhino to short. Brooks flips to Rudy Law, or Vance Law, and that will retire the side. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. We go to the third here at Wrigley Field, 2-0 Chicago. Tomorrow on this very channel at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific, it'll be the Detroit Tigers and Kansas City Royals, a rematch of the '84 American League Championship Series. We might venture to guess that one of those teams will be in the '85 American League Championship Series. Here's Timmy Wallach. Timmy 1 for 8 on the year. That's 125, a single and a strikeout. Pitch from Eckersley. Here's a fly ball to left. Matthews will make the catch. 1 out. Brings up Mike Fitzgerald. He's 1 for 8. A solo homer. On his dance card, one of the 5 he would hit in '85. Got him. That's 3 for Eck. An 0-2 curve. That curve is breaking sharper than a block of cabbage cheese. 2 out for Bryn, the Frito Man Smith. 194, a homer, and 4 RBI. Bryn looks like he probably enjoyed a few bags of Fritos in his day. Ground ball up the middle. Dunston behind the bag, cuts it off, throws to first, and that will retire the side. 9 up, 9 down. For the Eck, we go to the bottom of the third, 2-0 Chicago. So Gary Matthews, who singled and scored his first time up, will start in the third inning. It is a hot chocolate and brandy type day here at Wrigley, 51 degrees. In the left, Raines should track this one down. He does, 1 out. The Sarge indeed. So how your Braves doing, Mr. Matthews? Here's Leon Durham. Leon drove in a run on a sac fly in the first. There's a ground ball to Bryn Smith. Off the mound, flips it over to Dreesen for the out. 2 away for Keith Moreland. He doubled and drove home a run. That was 5 RBI on the young year. Smith winds and deals. There's a little looper, and that's going to drop in front of Timmy Raines. So number 6 on the hit column for Chicago. And here comes Ron Say, who walked. Started out 1-5. I remember you saying that. And we're now 6-5. A 5-game winning streak for Milwaukee. The Milwaukee Braves are an important part of television history, and it has to do with the year you're playing. Can you tell me why? Pitch to Say. Popped up. Left side. Wallach calls for it and will make the catch. So the Cubbies get a hit and leave them on. We've played 3. And Chicago 2, Montreal nothing. And we changed colors with that this year. The block is still there, but we changed colors. And so, because you guys always love this stuff, here is the first look of standings, and this includes all the games from Friday, on the young season. Standings that don't mean a gosh darn thing for most teams. Houston has started off well, 3-1, but they're at home, so that's to be expected. The Dodgers are a game out of first place. Montreal and Chicago are tied for first in the National League East. The Expos have only allowed 6 runs. American League West, Minnesota and Texas. Chicago, Oakland, Seattle, Kansas City, and California. And in the East, the Red Sox swept the Yankees by a big margin at Fenway. So they're 3-0. Baltimore, Detroit, and Toronto 2-2. And because the Blue Jays and the Yankees are so close, neither one can afford to get too far from the other. So tomorrow it's the 2-1 Tigers against the 1-2 Royals. I should. I know one thing. The playoff game preempted the American Bandstand, and your sister was really upset about that. Well, remember, it was a best of 3, although it was a 2-game win by the Dodgers. And it has to do with the game in Los Angeles. Here's Range. He's 0 for 1. The Eck, 9 up, 9 down on 34 pitches. 3 innings, 3 strikeouts. Ground ball, base hit. Past Dunston. And so that's the first runner of any kind for Montreal. Did it move the Rams home game? Nope, it did not move a Rams home game. It has to do with something I don't think has ever happened before on television on a national basis for baseball. And now it happens all the time. Winningham is 0 for 1. Got him. That's 4 for the Eck. 0 and 2 on the outside corner, and they could just paint the field black, and no one would know for television, although no one in L.A. ever saw a Rams game on TV. Here's Andre Dawson. He struck out his first time up. Eck for the first time today, pitching from the stretch. Line drive to Say for the out. 2 out for Dreesen, who's 0 for 1. Eck pitches. That's kind of a hit and run. Runner was going anyway. Moreland is there and right. And that will retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, and no errors. Bottom of the 4th, you give, okay? It was the first baseball game, whatever game was played in the Coliseum, that was played in prime time. It went past 7:30 on the East Coast. So if it was like a 3 o'clock start or a 4 o'clock start in L.A., it went out past prime time. And you got the other part right. The game was on ABC. 30-minute drive, hopefully with clear audio. Happy New Year, Midlife Crisis. How are you? Jody Davis is 0 for 1. Dunston and Eckersley to follow. Bottom of the 4th, 2-0 Cubs. And Davis strikes out. So Bryn gets his first strikeout, an 0-2 fastball. Here's Dunston. Sean singled his first time up. Pitch to Dunston. Ground ball to third. Wallach across the way. Has to hurry on the bang banger. And Dunston is out, 2 away. And one of DJ John's projects, how many is too many, I'm replaying the 2001 Mariners. Do I have any interest in playing 2001 in Action PC? I don't know. One of these points, we're going to do a year where the Red Sox do well. Now, Matt, I should charge you $45 an hour for this. I was so mad, 10-year-old kid that I was. My sister turned off the TV. The Braves were letting that game slip away, and then Johnny Logan gets hurt. In all 13 years that the Braves played in Milwaukee, they never had a losing record. Heck, by the way, 0 for 1. Got him. So a 1-2, swung on and missed. A lot of people say 2001 is the best MLB season ever. Why is that? I'm kind of curious. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the top of the 5th inning, 2-0 Chicago. Hubie Brooks, Vance Law, and Tim Wallach here to bat. Hubie's 0 for 1. X starts the inning with a ground ball to third. Say's got to hurry. That was a bounder for the out. You would watch the Rams play in the 70s. Well, the blackout rule Was lifted in 73 if you sold out. Here's Vance. He's 0 for 1. Eckersley deals. And to right, Moreland will make the catch. 2 out. The Mariners, who won 1,000 games. Barry Bonds, who... Was that the year he hit 73? The 0-1 World Series was an absolute classic. Absolutely. Poor B.K. Kim. Let 2 of those games slip away in Yankee Stadium in the extra innings. Yeah, the 2001 World Series was fantastic. Wallach is 0 for 1. I do want to play a quote-unquote modern season. Yet, Kim still got a ring out of it. So did Beyonce, right? What Schilling and Johnson did those last 2 games... Yeah, 2001 was the only year I cheered for New York as well. And if Derek Jeter was playing where he was supposed to be playing, I think he makes that catch on that Gonzalez blooper. So 2 out. Pitch to Wallach. Here's I don't know what that is. It's a ground ball to short. Dunston picks it up, throws to first, and that will retire the side. Halfway home on a chilly day in Chicago. It's the Cubs 2, the Expos 1. If you join us late, here's how we got here. Leon Durham, a sac fly in the first to make it 1-0 Chicago. Then Keith Moreland doubled home the Sarge, Gary, not Elvis Matthews, to make it 2-0 Cubs. Dennis Eckersley is pitching a gem, a 1-hitter through 5. He has struck out 4. Bryn Smith has given up the 2 runs, allowed 6 hits, complaining he can't find his Fritos, has walked 1 and struck out 9. Or 2. Jeter has played that blooper, was ready to 1 at short. For how many consecutive years? I can tell you that probably Long Island softball kings are never going to be guests on Digital Dice. Here's Bob Dernier. So Smith is opening 18 on 59 pitches. 4 innings, 6 hits. The walk and 2 strikeouts. Wasn't 2001 the year where Jeter makes the great save against the A's? Getting the cutoff throw at first. Pitch to Dernier is a ground ball to Hubie Brooks. Behind the bag, over to first for the out. Game 3, yep. And the Yankees were down 2-0 too in that series, if I remember correctly. TJ Johns using payoff pitch. Great game. Payoff pitch. Ryan Sandberg 1 for 2. Stole a base and scored. Sandberg going to bloop that one past Law for a single. And so the Cubs now have 7 hits. Gary Matthews is 1 for 2. And the run scored. That's a single. Derek Jeter. Yeah, there are, oh my goodness. We did the chat with the creators of Pocket Pennant Run. That's a very fun game. There is no shortage of good baseball games out there. Enjoy the bounty. Pitch to Sarge. Throw to first. Sandberg back. Gary cannot hit and run. We're not going to steal. And Matthews goes down by way of the K. A 1-2 count, and they're below the belt for strike 3. Hideo Nomo's no-hitter was in 2001. I don't know. It's way too early to talk about our 2023 season project. When do you go back to work, John? Leon Durham is 0 for 1 with an RBI. Throw to first. Sandberg is back. And this time we will steal him. Fitzgerald throws down to Hubie. They got him. So the Cubs have tried to steal 3 times today, and Mike Fitzgerald, who comes to the plate, has thrown out 2. And as old Joe Garagiola used to say, it's amazing how someone who was a defensive hero in the field always starts the inning at the plate. The next time around, Fitzgerald, Smith, and Raines to face Eck here in the 6th. Mike Fitzgerald doing his best Gary Carter impression. Yes. Fitzgerald hits a ground ball to third. Say a long throw across the way for the out. I think the patch certainly fixed, by the way, if it's not an officially out patch, fixed some of the chalkboard issues. So Bob Dernier, for instance, isn't running all the way to the pitcher's mound on a single. Bryn Smith is 0 for 1. They was hoping for the day after the holiday, Martin Luther King Day, but no, you went to PT yesterday and got beat up. Elvis says, that's the problem. I like to settle on a few or even use different ones for the same project. Call that a calico project, Matt. Dave Gardner, baseball fan extraordinaire. Don't let him fool you. He loves baseball. More than hockey. Did that Stanley Cup project using different game engines for different series. And that's quite fun. Some of it was shootout, some of it was strat, some of it was action PC in the crease. Pitch to Smith. Got him. That's 5. So Eckersley got him on an 0-2. Here's Raines. Opening 18 for Eck. 5 2/3 innings. 61 pitches. Just the 1 hit. That came in the 4th, and he struck out 5. Kurt Berglund has some good videos, too. And yes, Dave is really good with the videos. 2 out. Raines swings in the right center. Dernier comes in, and that will make the catch to retire the side. A whole mess of bagels on the board for Montreal. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 5.5, 2-0 Cubs. The hockey project was way cool. And that was fun to participate in. Yeah, Kurt's got to figure out how you can see the cards and the dice. That is so hard to get right and to know what's going on. But Kurt, other people should follow Kurt's lead. Al's pretty good with that, too. Here's Leon Durham. He's 0 for 1 with an RBI. Bryn Smith deals. Durham into left center. Winningham running in. 1 out. Here's Moreland. Keith has singled and doubled and drove in the second of Chicago's 2 runs. Got him. That's 4 for Smith. Keith swung on and missed the 2-2 fastball. 2 out for Say, who's 0 for 1 with a walk. So tomorrow, Tigers and Royals from Kansas City. I picked out the games for next week, and I can never remember. I'll remember tomorrow. Pitch to Say in the left center field. Winningham going back there, but he'll track it down, and that will retire the side. Cubs go in order in the 6th, 2-0 Chicago. So Winningham, Dawson, and Dreesen to face Eckersley. Kurt, by the way, enjoying a nice vacation in Colombia. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, we did interview Kurt and James Formal and talked about Pine Tar baseball. Elvis, I didn't need a compliment for that, but thank you. Kurt has been a valued member of the community. Here's Herm. He struck out. He's 0 for 2. To third. Say on a bounder over to Durham, and that's an out. 1 out for Dawson. The Hawk is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. The one big problem I have with baseball on TV today isn't the volume of stats. I mean, we show you a lot of stats, and actually people have said, you tell too many stats. It's that it seems to be called... Oh, thanks, John. It seems to be called by people who don't have a love affair with the game. When Scully and Garagiola, Al Michaels and Palmer and McCarver, and that threesome was very good, called the game on a national level, you knew they were calling a game that they loved. The same with Summerall and Madden in football and Enberg and Olsen. Today, when I watch baseball on television, it seems to be, let's just get through this as fast as we can so we can talk more about football. Again, I have nothing against football. It's not my favorite sport. But for those of you who love it, more power to you. And so, one of the things that if I could strangle Rob Manfred and become commissioner for a day is you want people to present your product who have a deep affection for it. I'm not going to say that Joe Buck doesn't. I don't think Buck is the problem anymore. Fox keeps paying for it. I think they do a good job with it. But yes, there's a certain 4-letter network called ESPN. I think Turner is getting better with it. Their camera angles aren't that great. But if you're going to present a sport, you got to love it. And ESPN loves itself. Nowadays, when I see a video that Vince shoots you here on, that's sweet of you. And that's true. I think a lot of the ex-players in the broadcast didn't play the game the way it's played today. Although Hernandez is fantastic with the Mets, with Ronnie Darling and Gary Cohen. Kupp and Kipe in San Francisco are absolutely fantastic. Rick Monday's old. I like Charlie Steiner. And Remy, I thought, until he started to have the major health problems and couldn't do it as much as he wanted to, was fantastic. It can be done right, but on a national level, there's too much into tell the stories, but not tell the game. Thanks, John. Ricky thinks that an A-Rod alternate broadcast could work for Sunday Night Baseball. It can't be any worse. Those classic baseball radio games have some great Vince Scully commercials. You know who I liked most on the radio? Dawson hits a fly ball to center. Dernier goes back. Even though I was not a fan of the Mets in the 80s, I always loved listening to Bob Murphy. He painted such a word picture, and he did it in proper English, meaning, Gary Carter slid into third. It was all in the past tense for the most part, because you can't do it in real time. And again, Murph was one of those people that just had a love of the game, and of course the Mets. And at one point, there's a game in 1990. Dreesen, by the way, 0 for 2. Red Barber was great in that way, too. Yep, absolutely. Pitch to Dreesen. There's a pop-up. Dernier's going to get there. And that will retire the side. Story after the stretch, 2-0 Cubs. Jody Davis is over 2 with a strikeout, and I forgot what I was going to say. Earl Gillespie and Jack Quinlan of the Cubs. Gillespie, of course, called the Braves games as well. And Quinlan was killed in an accident in spring training, which put Vince Lloyd with Lou in 64. Okay, Vince Lloyd and Lou Boudreau, who was a tremendous radio booth for the Cubs for 1,000 years. Well, yes, baseball needs a commissioner who loves the game, but they got to work with the owners. I mean, Rick Monday is good, and does a better job than Charlie when filling in games. When he and Kevin Kennedy did games were very good. Too much complaining about shifts and no small ball. It makes the viewer question about why they're watching this if this isn't the proper way to play. Doesn't promote the product at all. Absolutely. Or you can just be homers for a team and it just comes across as fake. Jody Davis is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. And, of course, the other thing is with young announcers. They want their clips to be on SportsCenter so they can go over the top. Pitch to Davis. There's a base hit into center field. The Cubs have had a number of hits today. Davis will round first and go back. That's 8, but they only have the 2 runs in the first. Here's Dunston. He's 1 for 2. I completely forgot what I was going to say. Jody Davis eyes. There's a fly ball to center. Winningham should get it. He does. For the out. 1 out for Eck, who's obviously going to bat here. Is he going to bunt? Probably. 0 for 2 in the strikeout. Wallach and Dreesen play for the bunt. Is there any audio of Negro League games? Not that I've ever heard. I wish Brad was here. He probably would know. Eckersley squares and bunts it foul, first base side. Oh, into the count. He's swinging this time. Or not. He strikes out. The 0-2 was swung on and missed. Fastball at 85, 2 out. I wish I remember what story I was going to tell. Oh, I know now. Now that there's 2 out in the inning. Denier 1 for 3. Back to, I've had 1 no-hitter in action PC. It was Jim Bouton with the 64 Yankees. And Eck has thrown an absolute gem. So I think this goes back to 1990. We're talking about Bob Murphy and the Mets earlier. And Bob was just as congenial as you could be. And so the Mets, at the end of their run where they drastically underachieved, let's be honest now. And so they're in Philadelphia for a game, and the bullpen chokes. And somehow they hang on. And Murph, the consummate professional that he was, with the mic open, this might have been Gary Cohen's first or second year in the booth with Murph. And so Murphy goes, and the Mets win the damn ball game 10-9. I think that made the back page of one of those tabloids. But it just kind of go with, you can go with the flow and be professional, but sometimes you get frustrated too. Pitch to Dernier. Bob hits that one up the middle. Law and Brooks, I believe it's for the out. It's going to be Law. It goes to the bag himself, and that's the inning. After 7, no runs, a hit, nobody left. It's 2-0 Chicago. And speaking of one-hitters, Eckersley's only thrown 72 pitches. Brooks, Law, and Wallach for Montreal here in the 8th. Hubie's 0 for 2. The one hit came in the 4th from Tim Raines. And Hubie strikes out a full count fastball in there at the knees. Eck, who mostly anyone under the age of 50 is going to be known as that magnificent closer for Oakland. Won 20 games for the Red Sox in 78. Threw a no-hitter for the Indians in 77. He really could pitch. But he found some demons that he tried to drink away. And as much grief as I would give Tony La Russa, he saved Dennis Eckersley's career. And he was such a huge part of Oakland's success. Vance is 0 for 2. Law hits a chopper to Eckersley, flings it over to Durham for the out. 2 out for Wallach, who's 0 for 2. Eckersley winds and deals, and there's a ground ball to Sandberg behind the bag, and Eckersley's going to the ninth with a one-hitter. How about that? No runs, no hits, no errors. The Expos have only stranded one. Bottom of the eighth, 2-0 Chicago. Yes, Sunday at noon will be the last regular season game and the last Action PC football game of the replay. The San Francisco 49ers and the Los Angeles Rams from Anaheim for the NFC Western Division Championship. And remember, if you watched the football game last Sunday, Lynn Dickey for the Packers got hurt and will miss the Week 16 game. So the Bears are trying it with a win to get a home field in the NFC Divisional Playoffs. Rhino, by the way, is 2 for 3. Has singled twice, scored, and stolen a base. Cubs former pitchers, Expos former pitchers. Imagine Mark Langston and Randy Johnson in their prime on the same staff. Pitch to Rhino is a fly ball left center field. Whittingham is going way back there. It is caught. Whittingham had to do a Jerry Rice deep route to make the catch. 1 out. I mean, Eckersley's pitching a gem. Yeah, Pedro as well, absolutely. Eckersley's pitching a gem, but it's only a 2-run game. Here's Matthews. Sarge is 1 for 3. He singled, struck out, and scored. Pitch to Gary. In the right center field. Back goes Dawson. Andre will have dinner with you and make the catch. 2 out. Here's Durham. Leon is 0 for 2. He's driven in hit a run. So tomorrow, it'll be the Tigers and the Royals from Kansas City. DJ John. You know, I should start charging commission for this. Langston and Randy on the same staff? Yeah. As much as everyone talks about the 94 Expos, with good reason, the 93 Expos finished only a couple games behind the Phillies. Bryn Smith is probably going to get a complete game here. He's just over 100 pitches. Durham is 0 for 2 with an RBI. To third. Wallach on the grass, over to first, and that is in time. Man, Wallach's got a good arm, doesn't he? We go to the ninth. No runs, no hits, no errors. It's Chicago 2, Montreal nothing. And so Eckersley takes the mound on 87 pitches with a one-hitter. It'll be Fitzgerald, I'm sure, a pinch hitter, and Raines, who has the lone hit. Fitzgerald is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Eckersley starts the ninth with a fly ball to right. Moreland, 1 out. Bryn Smith is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Pitch count-wise, well, you got to pinch hit for him. They do. Why, look, it's Terry Francona. So Don Orsillo's bestie comes to the plate. He's 0 for 2. 267, 2 homers, and 31 RBI. There was a lot of buzz in Canada. The Jays and the Expos may meet in the 93 series. Touch 'em all, Joe Carter. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life. You know where Tom Cheek got his start? In Rutland, Vermont. On WSYB. We serve you best 1380 on the AM dial. Now, I'm going to mention a couple names here. I'm not sure how much they're going to mean to anybody. But at one point, WJOI radio here in Burlington had Tom Cheek and Bob Lobel on the same staff. That's, if you know who they are, that's pretty remarkable. Pitch to Francona, and Tito into left field. Matthews will come in, and there's 2 out. So Eckersley obviously is going to be our digitalized player of the game. Raines has the lone hit, and that was a single in the 4th inning. He is also struck out 27 batters deep. Eckersley, 92 pitches, 8 2/3 innings, 1 hit, and that's the man on the mound, and 6 strikeouts. He hasn't walked anybody. And again, he only walked 19 in 169 and a third. So Dennis Eckersley has been all that in a bag of chips. Pitch to Raines. Struck him out. What a way to end it. He got the fastball over the plate. And now a Red Sox fan rang him up. And all Raines could do is turn and go back to the dugout. So Dennis Eckersley has thrown a 1-hitter. And look at the time of the game, 1:58. The Cubs, 2 runs, 8 hits, no errors. They leave on 5. Montreal, the lone hit from Tim Raines, and they don't leave, and they just let that 1 runner on. So Eck, what a ball game. 9 innings. The 1 hit, and he struck out 7. And they didn't even have plus stuff or plus stuff. That is as good as a game you're going to get and allow a hit. Bryn Smith goes the distance for Montreal. 8 innings, 8 hits, 2 runs, both earned, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. Wowzers. And so let's look at the rest of the day in baseball for you. The Dodgers in 15 beat the Giants 8-7. They pound out 16 hits. Mike Marshall, 2 for 5, his first of the year with 2 RBI. Brennan with the win. Vida Blue takes the loss. Baltimore 5, Toronto 1. Scotty McGregor with the win. Jimmy Key the loss. Len Cicada, just another day. 2 for 3, a homer and 2 in a double. St. Louis 5-2 over the Pirates. Kurt Kepshire, remember him? He gets the win. Larry McWilliams takes the loss. Jason Thompson, 1 for 2, a double and 2 walks in a losing effort, I think. San Diego gets their first one of the year. They beat Atlanta 4-2. Andy Hawkins gets the win. Rick Camp takes the loss. Rick Camp, of course, will be a hero sometime in July. Al Bunbury, 3 for 4 with a double. The Reds win their first for Pete Rose. They beat the Mets 10-3. Mario Soto gets the win 1-1. Bruce Bereni takes the loss. Nick Ostaski, 2 for 3, a homer, and drove in 3. Houston 5, Philadelphia 3. Mike Great Scott gets the win. Jerry Koosman is still in baseball. He must be 8 million years old. Jose Cruz, 2 for 4 with his second of the year. Texas beats Milwaukee 6-2. Frank Tanano gets the win. Danny Darwin the loss. They used to pitch on the same staff. Larry Parrish, 2 for 4 with his first of the year. Minnesota, 8-1 over Seattle. Clawwitter, and if you know who the hell that is, good for you. With the win, Matt Young takes the loss. Kent Herbeck, 2 for 5, his second of the year with a double. Dusty Baker, a home run, a grand slam. He drives in 5 as Oakland beats California 7-3. Don Sutton, he pitched for the A's, gets his first win of the year. Tommy John takes the loss, and I think that Jones is Rupert. And so that'll take care of the broadcast on a Thursday. Tomorrow, you get Detroit and Kansas City, a rematch of the 84 ALCS. So that will be at the same bat time, same bat channel. Games next week, as we're trying to fill up the last 40 seconds or so. It'll be Houston and the Dodgers Tuesday. The Thursday game will be Pittsburgh and St. Louis. And then lunchtime Friday, at the moment, we have Cleveland and the Yankees. that one is flexible for changing. So, thank you, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow for the Tigers and the Royals. So long, everybody.